Yeah.
Hello, folks. We decided to jump into things a little early. And that little special intro video was in honor of Andor winning an Emmy.
5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, won 5 Emmys.
Yeah, we're gonna chat about that a bit. I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, I don't think I fixed my Discord. We're probably gonna hear noise again. Anyway, Matt was in the chat early as always. And Mr. Steve Spawn is also in the chat. Hello, sir. And so tonight we are going to be doing a little 10th anniversary retrospective about the Force Awakens. Force Awakens celebrates its 10th anniversary in December.
Nice.
Fun times.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about if we have, if we have any memories from that opening, and just
certain individuals of us have like catastrophically like PTSD memories of it. So
well, I didn't have any PTSD, so I'm going to talk about everything. Yeah, but yeah, so we have that, and we'll have our show and tell, all that good stuff. We'll do our comic thingy, and still haven't come up with a name for that.
Yeah, comic thingy. I mean, that's not bad.
Comic thingy, yeah.
The comic thingy.
The comic thingy.
Mm.
Star Wars comic thingy. That works.
Hey,
thingy. Joy. Joy's in there. Oh,
Joy's in early. Hey, Joy.
Hey, Joy. How's it going? We were just talking about the name for the comic book segment, and we thought maybe Star Wars comic book thingy.
We've got Show Me Your Thingy. We had Lick Your Thingy for a while, and now we have Comic Thingy.
That ain't right. Lick Your Thingy. That's
Lick Your Thingy. Well, that was your fault. You did it.
I didn't call it Lick Your Thingy.
You decided that you needed to bring things in that you had to try because you're like, I just want to see what it tastes like.
I didn't say I wanted to call it Lick Your Thingy.
But you knew it was about to happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So what about it? Star Wars comic book thingy.
The comic thingy. It sounds less obtrusive. It sounds less obtrusive than some of the other things we've come up with.
That's true. It's definitely not as bad as Lick Your Thingy.
Lick Your Thingy.
That's just not right.
Because why wouldn't you? On tonight's show, how many metaphors can we come up for with your thingy involved in it?
With my thingy?
Comic your thingy. Lick your thingy. Show me your thingy.
It's the Thingy Show. Where we talk about thingies.
How far we've descended.
Rebel Nerd Radio, the slightly inappropriate Star Wars show.
The slightly inappropriate Star Wars thingy.
There you go.
Anyway, good evening, everyone.
Yeah. So what have you been up to this week?
Let's see here. This week, man, it's been like kind of a it's been kind of a busy week, but it hasn't been a busy week of like fun stuff. It's just been like just busy,
Yeah.
just doing busy work. Me and the girlfriend have a bunch of events coming up here at the house, including the barbecue that you know about coming up on the end of October, 1st of November. And then we have like this weekend, we have like a wedding going on. We have a first birthday going on. So we've been kind of cleaning the house and getting rid of some stuff and doing some straightening up and things like that. So I haven't really been doing anything like super exciting, just things that are kind of just need to be done and kind of boring. And but the good news is that like my shop where we park our vehicles and do most of the mechanic work, we actually are able to. We have a lot more room in there now. We can get more vehicles in there if we need to, which is good because there for a while it was just packed with stuff that had not been moved since we moved. And when my mom passed away a couple years ago, we brought a bunch of her stuff over. Rebel Thingy Radio and Nerd Thingy Radio. Um, so yeah, we did a bunch of throwing away. Got took a bunch of stuff to Goodwill. And got rid of some stuff. So it's been kind of a long, busy week of just busy work, not really doing anything like quote unquote fun, which is, boring. So, yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
movies, TV shows, nothing interesting.
Let's see. No,
No.
football season started, so I've been trying to catch up on football games. Been trying to watch those, and usually Sundays are football days, so I've been watching football games. My Colts are 2-0, by the way.
So speaking of sports ball, only 20 days until the NHL season starts. So that's good.
Yes. But yeah, no, yeah, other than that, just like I said, it's just been it was a long weekend of busy work, and yeah,
Brennan!
I can't think of, hey, Brennan.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how about your weekend? How was it?
I'm doing my dashing and doing my school, and I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Outlaws lately.
Nice.
Digging into that again because at some point in time, and I don't even remember when this happened, but I bought the DLCs, and of course, not knowing I had them, I haven't played them. So I basically I haven't like I didn't jump into the DLCs. I'm basically starting a fresh playthrough, and then I'll get to the DLCs when I get to them. But yeah, I've been a new playthrough of that. Have you ever played that game?
Outlaws, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't finish it, but I did play it.
I have finished it once, but it's been.
Yeah, I never got a chance. I was actually in the midst of finishing it, and I can't remember what happened, but I moved on to another game temporarily for a while, and then I never readdressed it, so I never went back. It was fun. I enjoyed playing it. I like it. I just went back to another game, or I went to another game and started playing it, and kind of lost track of it. So
other than that, I've been playing that, and I. As everybody in the Discord knows, because we'll get to the Discord. You really should be on the Discord, folks. Because
yeah, if you're not on the Discord,
you're missing like a third of the show by not being in the Discord. No,
like we always say, if you're not in the Discord, what are you doing with yourself?
Exactly. But as everybody in the Discord knows, I actually just recently finished a rewatch of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Excellent.
And I have some different thoughts about that show after rewatching it again. I think this is probably my third or fourth watch through. But I've got some different thoughts. And we've talked about doing because you and I have never done a retrospective of that show.
Right.
We did our retrospective of that while it was airing. That's when DJ, I think Nicole even might have been with us. I can't remember. Hold that thought. Now, if I can't find this,
Has it been that long ago that the show came out, that it was actually before we actually started talking? Before it actually started
So
coming on?
we did our first episode about Kenobi in May of 2022. I know DJ was with us, but I think Nicole was with us too. Maybe. Wait a minute. Let me look at those dates again. What did I just say?
I need to honestly, I need to do
May,
that with I need to do that with Book of Boba Fett again.
May through June. Oh, I know we didn't do a retrospective of that. But yeah, May through June of 2022. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nicole was still with us. But yeah, you and I have never done one, and that's we should talk about that. And then I actually
wait. You mean I have to have an excuse to rewatch it all over again?
Exactly.
What is this nonsense that you speak of? I have to have a reason to watch more Star Wars stuff? I mean, come on.
But I also started a rewatch. I haven't gotten very far into it, but I started a rewatch of
Uh-oh.
Star Wars Resistance.
Oh God. I'm sure that I'm not going to lose my Star Wars card over this, so I'm not too worried about it. But I'll be honest with you, I think I watched one episode of that show and I never picked it back up. Never rewatched it.
I watched the whole thing, but when we were at Rebel ScumCon, there was an animation panel that we went to, and the lead voice actor for Resistance was there. And they were talking about the show, and I was like, you know what? I need to rewatch that show. So, I don't. Now, as far as the animated, I got an echo going on.
You got an echo going on?
Yeah, there's an echo.
Uh-oh. Does it echo when I talk?
No. Are you watching the YouTube?
No.
Huh? Okay.
No.
Test. Okay, the echo's not there anymore.
No,
as far as the animated shows go, it is my least favorite. Now, Matthew says that it was bad. It wasn't great, but it's not horrible.
You have to remember you're talking to the guy who had a dream about us in his
Star Wars. That's PTSD. A little disturbing, and I don't even want to go there. But again, you're missing this stuff in the Discord if you're not in the Discord. But
yeah, you're missing out. If you're not in the Discord, you're missing out on some of these conversations.
Matt had a dream about us, so that's a little odd. Anyway,
normally I enjoy in some capacity living rent free in people's heads. But that might be a little weird.
I don't know about that.
That might be a little weird.
Yeah. I don't know about that. What else was there? So I started watching. I haven't gotten very far into it because I'm not engaged into it as much as I was. Like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like I tore through that. Like I think I watched it in 2 days. Yeah, really, Joy. But other than that, well, I've still been watching Peacemaker. I'm caught up on Peacemaker. But yeah, that's about it. That does remind me of something that we probably need to mention. Crap, and I don't have a. Let me get a picture up here. Something happened in the news that while it is not Star Wars related, I feel like it's probably still worth mentioning. But we had death in Hollywood
Mm.
today. Did that happen today? Or was that yesterday?
Yes, yeah, this morning.
Yeah.
This morning.
So, film actor Robert Redford died today at the age of 89. Now, I didn't realize he was 89 years old.
I didn't either.
I mean, I knew he was getting up there, but I didn't realize he was 89.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So, but yeah, he's done a lot of good. He was in a couple of Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Winter Soldier, and he was in Endgame. But yeah, he's done some good stuff. Yeah, The Natural. That's one of my favorite movies of his. I really like that one. You ever watch Spy Game? Spy Game was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Spy Game was good. The Last Castle was a good one. Yeah, he's done Butch. Yeah,
What was the one?
Butch
There was
Cassidy
one.
and the Sundance Kid. That was another good.
Yeah, that was the one that I was going to say. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That's where I
That's a good
remember
one.
him from.
He's been in a lot of movies. He's done a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he passed away. So rest in peace, sir.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, your turn. Take over. Social media. You do it.
Why do I keep getting hit with it? Why me?
Because
Okay.
you have to do something.
So, like we said earlier, because I have to do something, I do something. Dang it. I sit here and make smart comments and drink beer. Oh, wait, that's not enough. That's not near enough. Sorry. So if our weekly Tuesday night chaos is not enough for you, and again, I don't know what you're doing with your life. If you're not on our Discord, you're missing a lot of crazy, fun conversations with a lot of people. And there's a really good community over on our Discord, or you can always reach us like on Instagram because Steve posts stuff on Instagram every once in a while. I don't post near as much, but I should post a lot more. I'm trying
to start posting stuff on TikTok more, but I actually farmed that work out to my son Blue because I don't like TikTok.
I got rid of Reddit and Twitter. Twix, as we call it, is right behind it. I'm about to dump that because it's become a hateful cesspool of crap, and I'm just tired of it.
But you know what? We don't have a Reddit. We need a Reddit. We don't need a Reddit.
Yeah, we don't need a Reddit. We don't need a Reddit. Yeah, we don't need a Reddit.
Any of you folks in the chat, are you like on Reddit a lot? Because you can always.
Well, like I said, I
can create a Rebel Nerd Radio Reddit if you're that active on it, and you guys can get on. I will not get on it, but yeah.
Yeah, like I said, as a matter of fact, I just ditched Reddit, so Reddit is done for me. I got rid of it.
I have an account, but I'm never on there.
Yeah. But if you're looking to find us on our social media pages, if you're looking to find us on Discord, if you're looking to find a copy of the link to every one of them, you don't have to go search those places for them. You can go to the address scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
And for those of you listening on audio, all 12 of you, that is bio.link/Rebel Nerd Radio. I was giving you some help. I was helping you out, man.
Yeah.
Continue.
Matthew says Threads is much less toxic.
We are on Threads.
Yeah, but so bio.link/Rebel Nerd Radio is where you can find all of the links to all of our social media pages if you would like to chat. If you have questions about collecting stuff, if I can help you because I'm a collector. If you just want to speak to us, or if you'd like to join our Discord to join a really great community that you will not only find in the chat, but you will find other people in there that have a lot of fun. We talk about all kinds of subjects ranging from television shows and movies you're watching to your pets to all kinds of subject matters to sports and all kinds of things. Really good community. We don't address toxic things like politics. We don't address religion. We don't do any of that. If you're planning on coming over there to do any of that, don't bother. We will kick you out immediately. We just don't get into it. It's a good place for people just to talk about some of the things that they're passionate about, even some places to promote if they have like their own channels or if they have something that they're doing, they can promote themselves on there as well to the community that we speak to every Tuesday and that kind of thing. So like I said, you can find all those links in bio link at or / Rebel Nerd Radio and come join us if you aren't already a part of our Discord or other social media channels.
Joy says that she's on Reddit, but mostly just for rare plant collectors and info on Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Okay, that's a good positive use of Reddit, I guess. I went on there originally because I liked pictures of I liked overlanding. I liked stuff about Colorado. I liked stuff about like sea life, and I liked things about video games and like telescopes and doing planetary watching and things like that, which I'm getting into pretty big. And it just seemed like there were more smart aleck toxic people online and Reddit than there was like helpful people that actually wanted to do stuff for you. And like I said, honestly, for me, Twix is like right behind it. I'm about ready to throw it out the window too because it's just become a cesspool of hate and discontent.
We still get a lot of engagement over. I'm not on there as much for my personal page, but I'm on there a little bit more for Rebel Nerd Radio. But really,
but
even
neither
then,
of us,
not too
neither
much.
of us have premium accounts, so we don't actually. So for those of you who might have been watching on Twix, we don't even post our stuff, our videos on Twix anymore. It just gives you a link to the
because they make you pay to post, and it's just like,
they make you pay, and they literally the last time they said they just jacked it up to twice the amount of what it was.
Yeah, so it's just go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube.
Just go to
watch
YouTube.
It.
Yeah, just come to YouTube. Watch us on here on YouTube. Weather permitting, we're here every Tuesday, and I'm sure Steve is going to talk to you about I can tell you about the Patreon if you want me to, Steve.
Go ahead. Yeah. Talk to them about the Patreon.
So, also inside our bio.link at Rebel Nerd Radio, you will also find our Patreon, which you will get early access to some of our shows like The Bat Cave, The Kryptonian Chronicles, and a few other comic book related podcasts, non-live. We don't do them live. Every once in a while, we have a show that we'll do live. It just kind of depends. And most of the time, it's a special event. But you get early access to those. You also get, if you are a Patreon, you will get exclusive access to the Star Wars and Cyberpunk. What do we call them, Steve?
Tabletop RPGs.
Tabletop RPGs. Thank you. Tabletop RPGs, which Steve and I both participated in and are currently still participating in. But on top of that, you also get stickers. We will send you stickers.
I will get these out. I will.
He promises. He swears.
But you see, postage costs money, and I'll get to it. But yeah, if you're new to this show, here is the official sticker. And then here is the patron exclusive sticker. If I can get it out of the package. There we go.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very nicely done. But I mean, really, your Patreon is only going to cost you $2 a month, and really, literally, all it does is help pay the StreamYard bill. That's it. We don't use it for anything else. It just pays the StreamYard bill, so we don't have to pay it. So that way, we can just keep coming on and doing content like this. It really helps us out. And like Steve said, since he's struggling in the financial department, it really helps him out. So
yeah.
So yeah.
But what else do you get as a patron?
You also will get your name read right now.
Boom! Thank you to all our patrons: Dave Brown, Kelly and Chris Olson, Justin Hensley, Charlie Kirby, Chantel Gonzalez, Matthew, Steve Spawn, Brennan, Taco Cat. Hey, Taco Cat's not in the chat. Brian, and our newest patron, Paul. Thank you so much for contributing your hard-earned money. How much is StreamYard per month? Matthew is asking. I want to say it's $40.
I think it's $40.
Um, give me just a second here. I can verify billing. Oh, I'm off. It's 45.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's 45 a month.
They did go up for a while, and then they retracted and came back down again.
But not by much. Yeah,
Not by much.
yeah. We had found one that was cheaper, but the technical capacity of it was shit. So
Yeah, it did not work very well. And if any of you know us, the squirrels and the gremlins that we have in our technical with the technical difficulties and all that, having one that actually works correctly like StreamYard is, yeah, exactly, squirrel. Not the squirrel.
let's go.
If you know us, you know that we need one that works as best as it can, so that way when we fumble up, it's not near as bad.
We need one that is powerful enough to handle our bullshit. So, yeah.
100%.
So thank you, patrons, for
100%.
helping us pay our $45 a month bill.
Yes, thank you so much. We do appreciate you guys. We really do. And
Yeah.
Steve eventually is going to get you guys stickers and
Kelly, we just mentioned your name.
Hey, Kelly.
There you are, right there at the top. Next to Dave, in between Dave and Justin. In between them. No. But yeah, so we don't pocket any of that money. It's just
it definitely
it
just
just
goes to
helps
keep
pay the bill.
it keeps the lights on. That's all it does,
Yeah.
really.
So that is a so how many is that? Let's see, it's where'd it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's $22 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're getting close to halfway there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We get the StreamYard bill paid every month, and we'll pretty much be happy.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, I'd really rather, as much as I like the money and don't maybe raise the price to $3. Why would I want to raise the price? We've been saying $2 for the last year.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
But
we wouldn't do that. You know what, Matthew? Honestly, I don't think we'd raise the price. I would just love to have more Patreons so they get the exclusive content.
Yeah, I'd like
and even more than that, I think that Steve and I would both love to be able to get up to somewhere to get over 500 and then get up into the 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah. That's what I was getting ready to say. As much as I'd like to get more patrons, and I do want more patrons, we really want to get more subscribers on YouTube. So we can start.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome. That would be great.
But unfortunately, I think because we're not the drama type and the hateful type and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, it seems like all the toxic Star Wars programs are getting the money.
Yeah, it's hard for people who are just trying to have a decent non-toxic conversation. It's a little harder for you to move up through the ranks because we're not all this sucks and this chick is bad and this thing was terrible and look, they made fun of this person and we don't do that.
Yeah, I don't have enough toxicity in my life to.
Yeah, I mean we're even talking about. I mean, even what?
He's talking about that character again.
I
don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're the only one that hates him, Matt.
I'm sure that's not true.
Kelly says I don't even give those guys views. That's good.
We don't give them views.
I don't view. No, I don't
give them views.
Either.
And we don't even talk about it. We will not even if we have a subject that comes up that pertains to a certain YouTuber that talks or has hate speech and does a lot of hateful stuff in there too in their channels. We don't even mention them. We won't mention them on this channel. We will not.
We don't even mention their name.
Nope, we don't talk about them. That's another thing. Is that not only is our Discord channel, and I know we said this before, but not only is our Discord channel non-toxic or non-politics, non-religion, but so is the channel. We like to stick to Star Wars. We like to stick to the stories for what they are, and we critique and talk about them and discuss and debate based on what we see and what we know about the stories, and maybe a little bit of background information about production and the movies and stuff like that. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Good
Yep.
job. Social media. Make sure that if you are watching us on YouTube, that you subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and make sure you hit that like button.
Mm-hmm. And right now we have 314. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
300.
we're
We have 314 subscribers, which is good. I mean, it makes me pretty happy that there's a chance that we could get 314 people watching the show at once.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
That would be awesome. It'd be cool.
Yeah, that's cool. So what time is it now?
It is time for.
It is time for us to talk about. Wait a minute. Am I missing something? No, I'm not missing anything.
No, you're not.
It is time for Star Wars comic book thingy. That doesn't really roll off the tongue, but
The comic. You see, I said the comic thingy.
Yeah, but it's we're not talking about just comic books. We're talking.
You could say Star Wars, the comic thingy.
Galactic comic thingy.
The galactic thingy.
We'll workshop it. Basically, this is a segment we started this segment a couple of weeks ago, and basically we're just talking about the Star Wars comics that will be coming out tomorrow, Wednesday, September 17th.
So for those of you who aren't aware yet, Steve and I wanted to talk about Star Wars comics because it is a good middle road medium for new Star Wars content as it comes out. It's fun. I know there's not a lot of people who are into comics, but if you're not, you probably should be. I should probably be into them a lot more, and I don't do them as much as I should or as much as I used to. But we figure if we can show you some of the comics that are coming out, the covers, hopefully some of you will gain interest in it, and we'll be able to spark some good interest in the Star Wars comic universe.
Ooh, Joy, that one's not bad. Drawn to the Force.
Okay, if she keeps this up, we're going to have to start paying her part of the Patreon bill because she keeps coming up with good ideas for the show and good ideas for our segments.
But
that is a good one, though. Drawn to the Force.
Steve just says that might need to go back in the workshop. I get it.
Yeah,
Kelly
Joy
likes it. Joy says, she says,
Joy, that is good. That is good. Drawn to the Force.
That's a good one.
Yep. Drawn to the Force. That is a good one. Okay, so, Joy. Now we've had the long-standing "Show me your thingy." Do we need to change it or just leave it alone?
It's got to be "Show me your thingy."
And make Joy come up with a new one for us because apparently she's really good at it. That's awesome.
Let's just keep it with.
Okay. All right. Never mind, Joy.
Okay, so
don't worry about it.
As has been the case for the last couple of weeks, there's only 2 Star Wars comic books coming out this week. Maybe they do that on purpose. I don't know. Anyway, the first one that we are going to, that's the wrong button. The first one we're going to talk about is the flagship comic, Star Wars. And they are up to number 5 on that one.
Nice.
And so this one is written by Alex Segura. And I'm not quite caught up on this one. I think I'm like maybe 1 issue behind. So if you have not been reading this, they're only up to issue 5, so it would be very easy to get caught up. So this, takes place between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. So it's like New Republic era. So it's good. It's good so far. I'm liking it. But the other one that is coming out tomorrow is one that I've been waiting on for a while. And I'm looking forward to it. So it is, dang it, hit the wrong button again. Boba Fett.
Oh goodness.
Black, White, and Red, number 1.
Ooh.
Following in the footsteps of, there was a Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red, and there was a Darth Maul, Black, White, and Red, which actually was really good. I was going to do an episode about that one and never got around to it. But yeah, Boba Fett, Black, White, and Red. So this takes place during the Empire era. Um, but yeah, this one looks. It's written by Benjamin Percy, which is a writer that I know pretty well. Um, well, know of. I mean, I don't. I have met him, but I don't really know him. But he's written a lot of stuff that I've read before. He's a good writer. So it'll be interesting to see his take on Mr. Boba Fett. Some of these variant covers look really good too. So that one looks pretty cool.
Nice. How many different ones are there?
Yeah, I think there's only 4.
4.
But this one, I really like that one. And then that one.
That one's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that
one.
You know, I'm probably going to buy all 4 of them. Just because I like
you don't say.
Yeah.
You just say it isn't so.
So that's going to be a I want to say it's going to be a 4-part series.
Matthew, now you're just getting catty.
I'm ignoring it.
Joy.
Oh, okay. No, there's maybe there's only 3. I don't know. It's a limited series, so it's not going to be a standard series. So those are the Star Wars comic books coming out tomorrow. Make sure you hit up your local comic book store and go read some Star Wars comic books.
Yeah. I was going to say on Joy's suggestion for the thing, drawn to the Force or drawn by the Force.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
It's a good direction to go in.
Yeah. Issue number 5 called Boba Fett: Return to the Buffet. Joy says as soon as she gets moved, she wants to start that Godzilla podcast.
Yeah, she's going to do a Godzilla themed podcast.
Nice. Make
Joy,
sure that you get on.
Are you going to use that that image for it that you sent to me on Discord? Because if you are, I can share it here, get people hyped up for it.
I was going to say, make sure you put it in our Discord under promotions and in our shenanigans.
Yeah, definitely.
So that way we can all subscribe when you start your podcast on Godzilla. We can get everybody to subscribe to it.
That's going to be a fun podcast to listen to. I like Godzilla. So this is what she sent me in Discord. I don't know if this one she's using, but
nice.
I like it. Oh, okay.
If you ever talk about Pacific Rim,
she said she's still working on it, but yeah, that one's good. That one's good.
Very nice.
All right. Well, you know what time it is now. It is time for us to show our things. Oh, do you have something to show?
Oh yeah.
You can go ahead and start because I've got stuff to show, but I didn't set aside anything.
You didn't set aside anything.
I didn't even set aside anything.
Well, I don't. Most people guessed what my next one was going to be from last week, but mine was part 2 of part 2. Part 2 of 2, or this is part 2 of 2. So obviously, I got the Shin Hati, and there's no way. It actually started with Mr. Balin Scroll, the Hot Toys exclusive Mr. Balin Scroll, and the reason why is because I hadn't seen one in person yet, but I got to see this one in person, and it still has the Ray Stevens bust on it. And I talked to a guy, and they said that this probably wasn't going to last long because of the fact that he passed away. And I thought, I love the actor Ray Stevens. I think he's a great actor. He's been in a lot of movies that I really enjoy. Some of them not so popular, some of them popular, and even some TV series. He was in Black Flag, which is an excellent TV series if you've never seen it, about pirates and about the precursor to Treasure Island. He was also in a rendition of The Three Musketeers, which had basically nothing to do with France, but it was called The Three Musketeers. But it was an excellent movie too. But yeah, I had to get this one, and this is actually where it started. And the Shin Hati one, the guy that I bought this from, the Shin
Heck
said he
yeah.
had a Shin Hati at home, and he sold me to both of them for a very good price. And I thought, why wouldn't you have both of them together? So I thought it was pretty awesome. So that's the cover of it, and then this is the little art sleeve that you get on the inside.
Nice.
Pretty freaking cool. Love it. That's pretty awesome. And then
Really weird to see
inside
that
the
character without him.
yeah, but you know what though? Is it Rory McCann? Is that who's doing it?
I think so.
The guy, it's the guy who played the Hound, and I think his name's. Please don't. I hope I'm not butchering it. Rory McCann, I believe, is the guy who's going to be playing. Who's going to be taking over for uh yeah. Anyway, he's going to be taking over for him, and he's a great actor. I actually watched a lot of episodes pertaining to the Hound, and I thought he did a very great job in Game of Thrones. He's an excellent actor. I like him a lot. So I think it's a. I never, when they were actually talking about the people that were going to replace him as Balin Scroll, I was like, that guy was never on the radar. It was always somebody like Liv Schreiber or somebody like that. And I was like, yeah, those guys would be really good. I think they kind of have the same mannerisms and stuff. I think they could pick it up real easy. That guy was never really somebody that was on my radar or somebody I thought about might be a good person to play Balin Skull in his absence. And I actually think he'll do a great job. I think he'll do really good. I think he'll bring a lot of intensity to the character and a lot of that fire, a lot of that acting intensity that he brought from Game of Thrones. I think he'll bring it to this one as well. And hopefully he can kind of pick up the mannerisms and be able to still have that same energy that
Yeah.
that he had as Balin Skull, as damn it, why am I Ray Stevens? He'll have the same
Yeah.
energy that Ray Stevens brought to the character. Uh, and I think he'll do really good. I think people will be really impressed with him. Very good actor, so I don't see that being an issue at all.
We will see.
So very much like there's the kind of the inside of it. I have not taken it out of the packaging yet, so there's everything
It's
that
still
comes with
making
it. But
noise.
just like the Shin Hati character, his lightsaber, you either have one you can hang on his belt or put in his hand that doesn't have any light effect, or this one can be hooked up to a device behind the belt, and you can actually put in any one of the lightsaber blades. You have all kinds of handholds, you have all kinds of poses, everything that you can do, and the lightsaber blade acts up or lights up. Either the in motion or just the static blade lights up, and it's kind of the same situation. All soft good on the cape, all soft goods on his entire outfit, and then his boots and his gauntlets and everything is hard plastic, and just great detail on the um on the face sculpt on these. And see if I can get it out of here. And maybe, well, I can't, but yeah, you can kind of. I'll kind of hold it up here. You can't really see it, but these hot toys really do have great detail. And in the back, you can kind of see there's the cape, so you can put his cape on him as well. And it's all soft goods wired in, so you can actually do the poses and do different things with it. So I'm I've actually got some materials and stuff together to polish some rocks, some really cool sandstone rocks that I got at a job site that I was working on, and the people told me I could take as many as I wanted, and I've got some really cool rocks that I'm going to polish down to make stands for some of these characters out of them, including these two and my Darth Maul characters. And so, yeah, like I said, as soon as I get these stands, have time to get these things done. Some of these display stands and stuff like that. When I get these done, I'm going to be posting pictures not only on Discord, but it'll be part of a show me your thingy segment where I'll be able to show all the stands that I've made and the different poses of the characters and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, anybody who knows Hot Toys and knows about sideshow collectibles and the stuff that they do, it's always great quality stuff. And I'm excited about these too. These are some of the out of the Ahsoka series, which I already have the Ahsoka from the Mandalorian and from the beginning part of the Mandalorian. I thought about actually buying the Ahsoka the white one because the Ahsoka the white one is pretty cool too. It's got a lot of detail on it and very good sculpt. Yeah, these are some really cool characters that have come out lately, and I'm really happy to have them. Like I said, being a big fan of Ray Stevens, I'm glad I was able to get one before they're no longer available, and they just uh, before they just fade away, and I'm not able to get that one anymore. Yeah, so yeah, that was my thingy. Steve.
That was your thingy. Okay. So yeah, I didn't have anything set aside, but I've got I still got some of these boxes that I have not even touched. So I'm opening this one. Hold on, let me show you the box itself first. This one's got Yoda
Oh,
on the
nice.
table,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
which is cool. So this one has a shirt, and it says Master Yoda Jedi Training Academy. Ooh. That one's cool.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool. Ooh, this one has a hat too. And it says Dagobah on it.
There you go. New hat.
That's cool. Okay, then we've got this shadow art box. You're not going to be able to see what's in here, but it's, I mean, maybe just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just like, yeah, Yoda's in there.
Isn't that the Yoda Dagobah scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the list of everything. Rebel Rations Bento Box. Okay. You
got to take everything out of the box before you read what's in it.
Okay, I'm setting that one aside because there's some other stuff in here. Here's some Star Wars chopsticks.
Nice.
Those will actually get used. Well, no, they won't. No, they won't. No, because I use chopsticks fairly often. And here's a slider pen.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. That was quite cool.
Is that a bookmark? There's a bookmark.
Nice. It's all Yoda themed.
Yeah, everything's Yoda themed in this one.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this one is. This is it's a folding backpack. So I can unfold this and it turns into a backpack.
Nice.
And it ends up looking like this.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's pretty cool.
And I think that other piece goes kind of along with it.
Which one's that?
That plastic kind of box thingy.
No, this is the bento box.
Oh, okay.
That they decided needed to be in an extra protective layer of plastic. All right, what comes because you know what a bento box is, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So very interested in knowing what is. Okay.
Nice.
Little spoon there.
Nice.
Okay. You know, I get it. This is what this is probably what Luke was carrying his food in.
Probably similar to it, yeah.
Probably very similar, yeah.
Well, you know, it's fitting because it almost looks like a lunchbox, so that means you can take since you're going to school again, you know, you have a lunchbox.
I go to school. I go to school online. It's not like I'm going anywhere.
School at home.
I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna take it from my bed to my office.
Back to school. Going back to school.
Yeah. So another Star Wars shirt. You know, I still haven't worn that other Star Wars shirt yet. I need to.
Well, you're not going to run out of shirts anytime soon.
I'm not, and they are the right size for fat people like me. So, anyway, so I have 3 more of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got 3 more of those, and so I'm not gonna run. Billy Madison, what the fuck?
You didn't recognize what I was doing?
No.
I would say, you've seen Billy Madison, haven't you?
Yeah. Adam
Back
Sandler.
to school. I'm
Oh,
going back to school.
I'm not going back to kindergarten, guys.
but
I actually
you are
graduated
going,
high school.
but you're going to back to school.
I am going back to school, but I'm not going back to kindergarten. I'm not going back to high school. I did graduate high school. I in fact, actually have a bachelor's degree, if you can believe that. Fat lot of good it's doing me in the workforce, but
I got an associate's degree while I was in the military doing 4 years of military service. So
yeah, I did a little bit of schooling while I was in the problem with
yeah.
being in the school while I was in the military is that I moved around so much because I was on deployments all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I almost didn't pass my EMT class. I took a EMT course while I was in college and got my certificate for a while as an EMT, and I almost lost it because I had to go on a month deployment while I was still taking the classes during one of the semesters. And I fell so far behind that when I got back, I had to do all kinds of catch up work in order to get it done. But I still got my certificate, so it was good.
yeah, that's good. Well, that brings us to main event time. We are going to talk about
Matthew's favorite subject. Oh, wait, no, that's not it. That's not it. Matthew's PTSDs. No, that's not it. Why Matthew has us living rent free in his dreams. No, wait, that's not it. The Force Awakens. That's right.
I would like to know why he is dreaming about it. No, you know what? No, I don't. I don't.
You don't. No, we'll just leave that one alone.
I don't want to know why he's been dreaming about it. That's a little disturbing, to be honest. So we are going to talk about The Force Awakens. We're doing a little 10th anniversary retrospective. As I said earlier, the 10th anniversary is coming up in December. And so this was the first. I'm getting that echo again.
Must be something in the programming.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
And it went away again. So this was the first Star Wars movie that we got for, I think it was like 10 years, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, yeah, Revenge of the Sith come out in 2005 and Force Awakens came out. Yeah, it was because we
10 years.
Yeah, we didn't know.
I didn't think it doesn't seem like 10 years between Star Wars movies seems like a short period of time compared to like when you went from 1983 to 1999.
Yeah. And this was the first Disney one. Yeah.
Yes.
Rogue One came out after that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So there's a scene from it that I want to play. Oh man.
I'm so glad we're doing. I'll be honest with you. For those of you who have been in the chat or who have been in our Discord, and again, why aren't you if you aren't? Whenever Steve decided that he wanted to let it go, that he was not terribly interested in like ET. Matthew, who was in our chat, decided it was a good idea to give Steve crap tons of stuff of Gus about how much he just didn't say he didn't like it. He just said it just really wasn't for me, or or meh, whatever.
It's fine.
And so Matthew decides to go on a tirade with Steve about why he didn't like ET or jokes about ET. So this, in a way, is kind of poetic because it's almost a little bit of revenge for all that poking. just a little bit,
a little bit.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Although in all fairness, Matthew did say he liked the Force Awakens. It's just he did not like this one particular scene. So,
what one of the best scenes in the movie?
in all fairness, Matthew, I love Han Solo, and it came as a shock to me when they decided to do this. But knowing Harrison Ford and knowing the fact that and the fact that he even showed up to be in the new movies. Oh God.
I'm being torn apart. I want to be free of this pain.
Oh goodness.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to play the scene.
That is a copyright strike.
Yeah, I would be. But yeah, no. Okay, so Force Awakens comes out, and did you see the midnight showing?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So did I.
Oh yeah. Yep. I have seen not the midnight showing, but I have seen like the first weekend showing of every Star Wars movie that has come out since Return of the Jedi, and all of the sequels and the Disney stuff.
It was under 30 seconds. I can't do anything, Matt. It was under 30 seconds.
Yeah, yep. We didn't go over.
Yeah, we didn't go over.
But yeah, no, I've gone to all like the midnight showings or the earliest convenient showings that I can of all the new stuff. So yeah.
So yeah, I actually I didn't get tickets initially, not because I didn't want to, but because it sold out quickly. And in Oklahoma City, that is just rare, for anything to sell out. So I didn't get tickets to it, and I was highly upset. I was not happy, and so I was talking to a friend of mine on Facebook, and he said, and this was like the day before the release. He's like, I got an extra ticket. You want to go with me? And I was like, yes. So that's how I got to go. And so we went to the midnight release, and it was at the Cinemark in Oklahoma City. But that it was packed. I think there was not an empty seat in the house. But I've had my ebbs and flows with this movie. Like when I saw it that first time, I thought it was amazing. I thought, oh, this is freaking great. And then a couple more times of watching it, I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's not that great. I don't know. So I've been back and forth with it. I did rewatch it in preparation for this show, and it's been a few days. But yeah, I watched it, and yeah, I think I still like it. I like it. It's got there are obvious flaws with the movie. I'm not going to harp on the flaws because we don't really do that.
Well, people have been doing it for 10 years. If you don't know what people's problems with it is,
talk about the flaws about the Force Awakens, go somewhere else. I will just say, yes, there are flaws.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not talking about content. Those of you in the chat that I'm not talking about those type of flaws. No, there's flaws, but overall, I now it's not my favorite sequel trilogy movie, but it's not my least favorite sequel trilogy movie. But yeah, I like it, and we're going to talk about some of the aspects of some specifics about the movie. But I told you, like, my first, when you first saw the movie, do you remember your initial thoughts when you saw it?
I liked it. Same thing. I liked it. I thought it was good, and I think it set everything up well. Because there was a lot of like between her fighting the lightsaber and what was going on with her and why she was so connected and all the flashbacks and the mystery of it and what was to come, and the possibilities were pretty out there as to the mystery of who she was and how she fit into the whole thing, and the mystery of why Luke Skywalker left and why did he really go,
Mhm.
and the continuation of the love story between Han and Leia, and the fact that Han was out there looking for his son. He had
Yeah,
been looking for him the whole time and kind of felt like he had failed, and he went back to the things that he knew,
yeah,
and that Leia went on to do the things that she was good at, the resistance and trying
right.
to keep the First Order from coming up, and she was always kind of looking for him, always looking for her son and stuff like that, and all the backstory of how he got to the point where he became evil, and then because the first initial trailer when it came out and you saw Finn and then you saw the triple, the cross guard lightsaber and everything, it was like, wow.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like what is going on? And then as you saw more trailers, you're like, okay, there's how much more of this is there? And then, like Matthew said earlier, he was like the Chewie we're home, so we knew that we were getting
yeah,
we
yeah,
were getting Han and Chewie back, and we knew Luke Skywalker was a part of it, and then we knew that Leia had been involved in it and everything. So we knew all those characters were coming back. Plus, we had this story about Finn, and we had the story about that we knew there was going to be some
yeah.
new girl that
We're gonna
came
get
in.
into the characters specifically.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about the overall scope of everything. Everything that they
Mhm.
came out with the trailers, it was so interesting to see. And then when they put it all together, it was like, oh wow, okay, And uh, as far as like the story goes, I've heard people say things like it's a carbon copy of A New Hope, which,
I mean,
but
there are similarities,
there
but
really are. There really are similarities, and I kind of get where they're coming from on that. I think a lot of the people that were haters really kind of addressed that in an unfair manner because yes, there are similarities, but at the same time, it's new stories that are also being intertwined with it. And the thing about it is, I kind of get in a way why they did that is because when Star Wars first came out, it was so iconic and it captured people's imaginations, and it captured that it captured that wonder of the sci-fi of the universe of different galaxies and of aliens and things like that. It kind of all addressed that, and then the Old West gunfighters, and then the samurai, but with laser swords and all this kind of stuff. And when they got to the Force Awakens, and they're like, "How do we?" Like they kind of went, "How do we spark that same wonder? How do we spark that same nostalgia?" They kind of went and said, "We need to do this." Now, I'd heard there were rumors at the beginning that they wanted to completely reboot the series, and they knew that if they did that, there were going to be riots.
mhm.
If they tried to reboot Star Wars and they tried to do something different, like they did similarly to Star Trek when J.J. Abrams did the Star Trek, the newer J.J. Abrams universe versions of the Star Trek
Yeah,
movies. In a way that worked because I did like those movies, but I think with the pedigree and everything that came out with Star Wars and everything that had been done with Star Wars, I think there would have been riots in the freaking streets or riots in the theaters anyway,
mhm.
if they would have tried to do a reboot. But how do you take that same formula and capture a new generation of people in the same way that people were their imagination was captured with A New Hope? And so they kind of took the same story, they kind of used that as a template, and then they built upon it. And is it wrong? I don't think so. I don't think it's wrong that they did that. I think it's just they were just trying to that was what they were trying to accomplish by doing that. And maybe it was a little, but some people's visions or some people's opinions, it was a little too similar, and other people's opinions, it's like it wasn't really that much like it. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not much. And kind of like you and I, we can see the similarities and kind of see where they're coming from and
Yeah,
all that. But to be honest with you, I get what they were coming from. I get where they were coming from with it, and I think they did a good job of not rebooting it, but booting it up for a new generation, and by not remaking the old legends, but bringing the old legends in and creating new characters that people could associate with, and newer Star Wars fans could say, "Hey, there's a character in there for me." Now that these new characters have been introduced, there's somebody in there for me, and it brings a new generation and new groups of people into the Star Wars universe and say, "Hey, I'm a part of that universe too," which I have no complaints with. I have none whatsoever, and I think
Yeah, I don't
Force Awakens did that very well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. As we talk about some of the new characters that Force Awakens introduced. And when I say elephant in the room, I am referring to Kylo Ren. So new bad guy. Nobody. I don't think anybody. I did not predict who he was. I just thought it was a new bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like they revealed who he was a little too soon in the trilogy.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's done. They did what they did. I want to address, the comments about him being the bratty son, and so issues about his personality quirks that a lot of people seem to have. Okay, sure, it might be annoying, but think of the line, the ancestry line of him. His grandfather was a whiny brat.
Thank you.
His uncle was a whiny brat. It's genetics. He is predispositioned to be a whiny brat.
it's in his genetic DNA to be that way.
Yes.
Don't talk about my pillowcase. That's awesome.
So, so Kylo was, I think the idea of Kylo Ren before we saw the movie was more interesting than the Kylo Ren that we ended up with.
I know we're talking specifically about the Force Awakens, but I think throughout this series, I think of all the characters in the series of the sequel trilogy, I think his character was the one that I consistently was always kind of most interested in. And that's not to disparage other characters. That's not to say that I didn't care. I didn't care about Rey. I didn't care about Finn. I didn't care about and I'll argue with people about the Finn thing all day long. About the woulda, coulda, shoulda crap, whatever. And then the stuff about Rey, that kind of thing.
See,
I didn't.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
bring
think
that up,
there was
Brian.
anything.
I've got a concern about that, and it's more a sequel trilogy in general comment. But let's let JD finish first.
Yeah. I really felt like he was probably one of the most interesting characters in the sequel trilogy itself. And when it started out in Force Awakens, I kind of agree with you a little bit. I think that should have been the big secret that they revealed in, like, say, Rise of Skywalker, was that we finally found out.
Yeah.
But if they hadn't revealed it in the Force Awakens, it would have made Han's sacrifice. They wouldn't have understood it until Rise of Skywalker. And
Right.
and as much as in this movie, Matthew, I understand. Like I said, I understand. People hated that. They hated the fact that Harrison Ford was to the point where he just wanted to see something go away, so he didn't have to come back and do it again. And it was for whatever reason. I don't know what his
And
personal.
he came back and did it again anyway. So.
And then he came back and did it again in Rise of Skywalker. He made a little cameo, but at the same time, his sacrifice at that time, yes, that sucked. And it was horrible because he also was a pivotal character that I adored and loved, and I thought he was such a cool character.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but in the end, also, I think that that moment played deeper into the character of Kylo Ren than people want to admit.
Right.
And in the end, his sacrifice was for not. It
I,
was not in vain.
I feel like it was the first salvo in the changing of the guard.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
But
Because after that moment throughout the entire series, he was in conflict. And you could tell he was in conflict.
and we're going to get to that too, Joy.
Yeah,
That's another.
I don't think he realized how serious it was until he took the life of his father, and then he
Yeah,
realized what he had done, how evil he'd become. And I think he was in constant conflict and subsequent denial about the whole thing. And I think that that moment, as rough as it was for a lot of people to watch, I think it carried a very pivotal meaning throughout the sequel trilogy.
yeah. So I think Kylo Ren could have been one of the most interesting characters, but there's a couple of things. Well, I think the main thing they dropped the ball on was the whole what Brian was mentioning with the Knights of Ren thing. It was like
Yeah.
they really dropped the ball on the story. Like, why do we care about the Knights of Ren? Why would you even mention it unless you were going to open up that story?
Mm-hmm.
And they never opened up that story.
Uh-huh.
You didn't get that story until the comic books. Like Knights of Ren, who the hell are they? Why do we care?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think his story got really good until Rise of Skywalker.
Mm.
I think the way his character was written in that book, or not that book, but because I haven't read the book, and that movie was the best of all three. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I liked his character more in that movie than the other two.
Yeah, and yeah, his introduction was cool because at the beginning you didn't know who he was, and he stops a blaster bolt in midair, and that kind of. So you know he's got power behind him, but you don't know why. And then he says that
another reason that you know he's got power is when Chewie shot him with the bowcaster, and he didn't die.
He didn't die; he did get thrown back. So you knew he was
he's got some power to him. He's I mean,
which again, I think as much as people don't want to admit it, that the fact that he was in conflict after he killed his own father, I think that really kind of set him off, and he was kind of going in and out of balance. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he got shot by the bowcaster and he took that bolt pretty hard, and where it was killing a lot of other people, he took it like a champ. A lot of people have criticized the fight between him and Rey at the end of the movie, and they say that, she beat him like a pulp and there was nothing, blah, blah, blah. Number one, no, she didn't. Number two, she had combat experience. Number three, he was severely injured and in severe conflict.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot going on in that. So there was a lot going on there.
But overall, he was a pretty interesting character. But yeah, definitely when they introduced him, it was like, holy shit. It was. And
cool. I still enjoy his. Like I said, I think he's probably one of the more intriguing characters of the entire sequel trilogy.
That's right.
Kylo Ren. I really do. I think he's one of the better ones. And Adam Driver, kudos to him for playing him the way he did. He did really. I think he did really great.
Yeah. Let's see who do we want to talk about now? Let's just talk about Rey.
Yeah.
So Rey, just this little scavenger, seems like a nobody. We find her on this desert planet that kind of looks like Tatooine, but we know it's not Tatooine. But somebody wants him.
We have taken a brief pause here at Rebel Nerd Radio for cat time. One of them is pawing and clawing at the door, and he must be let in. Excuse our interruption.
Oh, it's you. Are you coming in or not? Come on. Come on. My life with cats.
Matthew, you say you can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Am I muted? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, Matthew says JD's mouth is moving, but there's nothing, but he can't hear anything. Can you hear me now, Matthew? Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
I can hear you. Come on. Go on, get. Come on, get. Go. No. Go on, get. Go on, get.
Dankeschön,
Hi, buddy.
darling, Dankeschön.
Okay. Indoor.
This is why I'm a lineman and not a singer, because I can't do it. I don't do
What's that?
karaoke because I don't want to embarrass people like that. I'm just saying.
Okay. There's a damn dude.
Ow!
Yeah.
Ow!
That was Andor.
Right.
Yeah, that would make sense that Matthew didn't want to hear us talking about his favorite
Yeah. Yeah.
person.
Exactly, Matthew.
Yeah, Rey. So, we just find her on this planet, and kind of mysterious, just like she's just a nobody. And it's like, okay. She's a junk collector.
A scavenger.
Yeah. But almost right away you can kind of see her overall importance. But I know there's a lot of discontent over her character. I like her character. I like Rey.
I don't
with her.
understand. I think people make up, and I know we say we don't talk a lot of the hate stuff, but I'm just trying to counter a lot of that, because I'll tell you something that I have experienced throughout the years of the Star Wars fandom and going to celebrations and going to regular cons and stuff like that. That's something that I've noticed, and even when I went to some of these small town cons, there are people who I spoke to a young lady in Salina who went to the Comic Con there, and she was talking about she used to, when she was younger, she had a Rey costume that she would wear, and I asked her, I said, "Why don't you wear it anymore?" And she said, "Well, I just didn't have much, I didn't want to do it because the movies are over, and blah, blah, blah." Or she just grew up and she grew out of the costume and all this kind of stuff. And I told her, I said, I really would encourage you, if you have a inkling to do that and you still enjoy the character of Rey, I said, you really ought to readdress that and see about making another Rey costume and joining the Rebel Legion or the 501st as the character Rey. Because going to celebrations, going to like Rebel Scum Con, going to the celebrations and stuff like that, we always see everything from young, young, really young girls to adult age girls who love the character of Rey, who dress up as the character of Rey and use her as an inspiration, much like us when we were younger, using the character of Luke Skywalker or Han Solo as somebody they looked up to, or somebody who was their hero, their childhood hero. And
or with females then that were using Princess Leia.
Or even like Princess Leia. They use Princess Leia as one of their heroes. Rey is a hero of a character to a lot of people in this much the same way. And the reason why I go against this whole rhetoric of her being things like a Mary Sue, or she shouldn't have known these things, or thank you, yeah, exactly, Brian, and that's the thing, is that she is the hero of modern day for a lot of younger people who feel like they don't have heroes, and that's something that we experienced. And I don't see why there's so much kickback, and I don't see why people make so much of a fuss and find reasons to hate on those characters when there's really no need to. And if you actually just sat down and thought about it for a minute, you could see that there's reasons why she is the way she is. She's had combat training. She's obviously, now that we've seen the end of the movies, we know what her lineage is, so we know where she comes from. And that is, whether good or bad, it is still a lineage of power. and her lineage is what she draws her power from, but her choices is what makes her good, is what
See,
made her what made her a good character for the sake of being good. She had, she lived in a rough place where she had to learn to survive. She was already a pilot. She already had all these things and all these qualifications that already made her very skilled to survive. And when the Force tapped itself and decided to present itself to her, it awakened a lot of things in here, i.e., the Force Awakens. But for me, it didn't awaken in her first. There was another character that I'm sure we'll discuss that it awakened first. But there's a lot of ways that those things can be explained if you really kind of look at it and you look at the story, you look at the finer points. I think it is. But I'm the same way as you, Steve. I have her lightsaber right up here. I will always have her lightsaber. I will always, I mean, I have stuff of hers,
yeah.
collectibles. I have collectible 6-inch characters. I have all kinds of stuff that have to do with Rey. I have no problem with her at all. I think she's a great
Yeah.
character, and I enjoyed the character of Rey.
I mean,
Bottom line.
you mentioned her lineage. I mean, that alone, like you're talking about probably let's just say one of the most powerful Sith ever.
Yeah.
Strong Force.
Yeah. I mean, she was
And-
genetically linked to the man.
Yeah.
I mean, no question. She was genetically linked to Palpatine himself, who's one of the strongest Force user characters in the Star Wars universe.
Right. I mean,
And when you do that, it even if you don't know how necessarily to use it or what to do with it, or you haven't experienced, and it just laid dormant in her. Once it woke up with a vengeance.
well, that's what I'm
And-
saying is like she had like genetic Force potential already.
Yeah.
So the fact that she learned things quickly doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, no. The fact that she picked it up quickly, the fact that she could use it with such intensity, the fact that it came easy for her to learn it, the fact that it led to other abilities that a lot of other people didn't have was
Look
because
back at Luke.
it's not surprising. It's really not.
In retrospect, Luke learned it pretty early
And quickly.
and quickly. Again, lineage.
Yeah, again, it has everything to do with lineage. And when you are genetically connected to one of the strongest in the galaxy, as strong as good or bad, as strong as Palpatine was, it may have skipped his son. It made the midichlorians, or the genes that made Palpatine who he was, may have skipped his son, may have skipped his genetic clone, which they're calling his son, but it didn't skip Rey. But there's things in genetics in real life that it skips over generations and it goes to other characters, and Rey was one of those characters.
And do we know for sure that his son was not Force potential?
No, those are stories that we haven't heard, and we don't know anything about her mother either. Her mother could have been anybody. Her mother could have been, I mean, for all we know, her mother could have been a Jedi. She could have been Force sensitive. She could have been a Padawan. She could have been somebody who was, I really wish they would, at least in a book, tell the story of the clone that he made that wasn't Force sensitive. They haven't done that yet. To my knowledge, they haven't done that yet. But if comes to find out that she was Force sensitive and she was being held, like, let's just say that in a real rough storyline, he was dormant, or he didn't want people to know that he was Force sensitive, and he runs into another girl who's Force sensitive, and they don't say anything to anybody, and they end up getting together, and then Rey is the result of them getting together and escaping from Palpatine, or escaping from the remnants of the Empire, and getting away from somebody like Dr. Pershing, or from the scientists at the thing. And it turns out that he actually was, that he was Force sensitive, and so was she. You would have seen the same thing. You've seen how powerful Kylo Ren was when Princess Leia, who had a strong, powerful Force lineage, actually got together with and created a child with someone who had no Force abilities whatsoever. And look how powerful Kylo Ren was. Now imagine if that was the case.
And Brian beat me to it. Well, he didn't beat me to it, but he said it before I was able to. Their story was told in the novel Shadow of the Sith.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I need to
That
read
was
that then.
published in 2022. His parents' names are Dathan or Dathan, who was a Strand cast, which is a failed clone, did not inherit his force powers. His mother, or her mother, Miramare, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. She was a pilot and mechanic.
Hmm. Okay.
Uh, and
I
met,
I need to read that. Thank you, man. Thank you,
and
Brian.
yeah, and met Dathan on the planet Hypercarn. Yeah, Brian, I have not read that book. It's on my list, but
Hmm.
but now it's really on my list because
Yeah, yeah. I'd really like to read that because
I
I'd
want
like
to
to
read that story.
hear.
I know
I'd
that the
like to
book
hear
is
their story.
primarily about Luke and Lando searching for something.
Weren't they searching for Oshi Bestoon?
Ochi's something.
Ochia Bestoon?
Something like
Is
that.
that the one? What it was is that they were searching for him, and it was stories about that or something like that.
Let me see if I can find the synopsis.
Okay. But yes, thank you, Brian. That's awesome. I did not know they actually told the stories. I knew there was a little bit of information, but I didn't know they actually told the
No,
story
it
of it.
also
So that's
talks about
cool.
Lando's daughter. Interesting.
Hmm.
That's not a very good short synopsis. Let's see if I can find a shorter synopsis. Unabridged. Okay, published summary. See, that summary is too freaking big. Anyway, yeah. So if you haven't read that, go read it. I need to read it. Okay, so yeah, Brian says they were searching for Ochi, who was searching for Ray's parents.
Okay.
Did they know? But they didn't know who Ray was at the time because that's pre Force Awakens.
Well, by then she might have already been hit on Jakku, so who knows?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ray was an important character in the trilogy, and
Hmm.
I liked her in Force Awakens. I thought she was.
I'm kind of with Matthew. Some people were saying that they thought it would be better if she was a nobody. I could see that being a possibility, and it might not have been a bad thing. But at the same time,
But
it, her being the daughter of a clone of Palpatine made more sense. I think it made her story and her abilities more complete. And I think that's
yeah,
a detail that people choose to overlook, and they choose not to. They choose
yeah,
to. Oh well, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to address the fact that she was Palpatine
she
clone's
got
daughter,
unwarranted hate because she chose to take the Skywalker name. Yeah, I've heard
which
that too.
I know that's not Force Awakens. I also don't have a problem with, but for different reasons,
I
and
don't
that's
have a
something
problem
we
with
could
that
talk
either.
about some. We could talk about that some other time.
Okay, let's move
Don't have
on.
a yeah.
Next, we're going to talk about. Let's just talk about Finn.
Finn.
So he was a stormtrooper, and apparently these stormtroopers were kind of like the Jedi in that they were taken away from their parents when they were very young and taught combat and whatnot. And apparently, in his case, he was taught sanitation. Um, but he was a good character. I liked him.
I like Finn.
Um,
I and I throughout our discussions of the sequel, and if we talk about things about the sequel trilogy, I don't I don't really care about the what could have been or what should have been that people like to throw out about that. I care more about what we got, and what we got. I was still
yeah,
I personally was very satisfied with. He went from this scared stormtrooper who saw his buddy die like on one of his first missions, and
yeah,
instead of massacring a bunch of people, he had the choice to not pull the trigger. And I think it's because when we talk about the Force Awakens, that's where it started. To me, it started with Finn. The Force awakened in him, and started there, and the adventure went from there. And to say that he's not Force sensitive is not correct, because obviously he
he is.
is.
He is.
Because he
There's no doubt
obviously
about it.
is. Now, should he have, and like I said, I hate to say it without the woulda, shoulda, coulda crap. I don't care. He's obviously he is force sensitive. What is it? I just imagine all these little stormtrooper tossing the classroom. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
Um, but he starts out as this very scared, very he's just trying to get away from the First Order. He doesn't want to engage anything. He just wants to run. He doesn't want to help. He just wants to get as far away as possible. He's afraid to engage. He's afraid to fight back. He's afraid to do anything. And then throughout the series, even to the end where you see him pick up the lightsaber knowing that he knows nothing about the lightsaber, and he tries to go after Kylo Ren because Rey's knocked out and he's just trying to defend his friend, is an awesome sequence. I thought it was great. And even the one where he's at Maz Kanata's castle and he picks up the lightsaber and he fights his fellow stormtrooper who has the stun
yeah,
baton.
yeah.
Those two, that fight's
Traitor!
yeah, that part's really cool. And I think at that point he realized that he needed to take a stand, and he needed and at least for Ray, he needed to take a stand, and he needed to rescue her because they were friends, because they had such a connection. And you see him actually go into the fight. He wants to be a part of it, um and then he progresses from there. And
I mean, there was a small portion of the movie where you get this idea that is he just a coward? Because he wants to run away.
yeah,
Like the
but I
whole
think
his whole thing is he wants to run away.
yeah.
And it's like, okay, is he just a coward? But
I didn't see him in that light. I mean, I guess in a little bit I did, but it was because he saw the massacre. He saw what they were trying to do. He saw he saw how they were killing people for no reason. They were killing unarmed civilians. They were so evil, and things woke up inside of him saying, "I know this is not right. I know this is bad. I know I need to stand against this." But he didn't know how. He just wanted to get away. He just wanted to get away from the First Order because he didn't want to be involved.
have you ever read this?
No, but I have it.
Okay. Yeah, you should read this because it's three separate stories, each telling their story prior to Force Awakens.
Yeah.
It's good. I liked it. I
Yeah,
liked
Joyce says, I don't think it's cowardice to run away from your kidnappers. No,
it.
it's not.
I
It's not.
agree. I agree with you. I agree
He
with
just
you.
wanted to get as far away from as possible, and he was trying to use Han Solo and them to get away, and he was hoping that Rey would come with him so they could escape
Yeah.
the First Order. They could go somewhere where they would be safe. I don't think that I don't see that as being safe. And he knew that he couldn't fight the First Order, so he was just trying to get away. But when Rey gets kidnapped, it turns from flight to fight, and he wants to rescue her, which I think is part of his progression that people forget, is that he cared enough about Rey that he wanted to find her, he wanted to rescue her,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he went into the fray because of it. So the courage was there. It all had to do with his friendship with Rey.
Right.
And that's because I personally think that there was a kind of a unhighlighted connection between the two of them that went beyond just being friends and having the same goal. I think the Force awakening in him, the Force awakening in her, I think that connection was there, and they felt that connection, which caused them, not knowing how to handle it, I think it caused them to act sometimes in an irrational manner.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes you get Rey or you get Finn kind of acting the way he does towards Rey, the constant screaming her name and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that but no, I overall I liked his character. I am satisfied with the way they did it. I don't really care about the woulda, coulda, shoulda. I like the way his character ended up in the end. Where he came out. I was pretty satisfied with it.
Very nice. Okay, well, we need to speed it up a little bit here. Let's talk about Poe. Poe
Oh
Dameron.
yeah.
I like Poe Dameron. We didn't
The Maverick.
get very much of him in this movie, but
Yeah.
what we got was impactful.
Yes.
Um,
He just a badass fighter pilot, good at being a fighter pilot.
looking for the map. He deals with that guy Lor Santeca, talks to him, and then the interaction between him and Kylo. At first, that was pretty funny. So I talk? Do you talk? What? How does this work?
Yeah, and I love it. I love his witty. I mean, I think he added in this movie what Han Solo brought in the original trilogy. He just added that smart aleck, non-force user. He was just good at what he did. He might have been a little cocky about it, but you know what? He had good reason for it. He was a
Mhm.
great pilot, and he knew it, and he was kind of, yeah. He had his little quips and his little smart aleck remarks, but it was fun. I think he added a new dimension to it that is great, and I enjoy that. I have enjoyed that throughout the trilogy, throughout the sequel trilogy of him and his smart aleck stuff, even in The Last Jedi, where he's like, I got a call from your mother, she's worried
Oh
about you, you need to come
yeah,
up.
that was hilarious.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but that was hilarious. That was funny. And people are like, that's not Star Wars. I don't give a damn. That
Yeah, it
was
is.
funny.
How is
That
that
was
not?
funny. That was 100% Star Wars. That was so much funny. It took me back to things like when Han Solo steps on a twig and gets punched in Return of the Jedi, and like all of his smart comments and some of the other ones that he had with Obi-Wan, his interactions that he had with Obi-Wan
Where did you
in
dig
A
up
New
that
Hope.
old fossil?
Yeah, I mean the interaction between him and some of the other characters, I'm just like that takes me back to right to
General
those points of
Hugs.
him.
General Hugs.
Yeah, yeah. So no,
Yeah.
I liked it. As far as this movie's concerned, like you said, we didn't get a lot of him, but what we got was very impactful, very straightforward, badass pilot with a very sassy rapport, and I enjoyed it. I liked it.
So while this one was not a main character, I thought she was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Maz Kanata.
Hmm.
I liked her.
Hmm.
Kind of
Yep.
like Han says, oh, she's been here for 1,000 years. Like, oh crap, she's old.
Yeah. She's old. Yeah. Yep.
she's seen it
Yep.
all.
And she kind of, being as old as she was, she had seen things, she knew things, she could look at people's eyes and tell there was something about them that was off or different or, whatever the case may be. She had just been around long enough that she was able to do that, which made her
Right.
a wonderful kind of seer slash old wise person type of
Yeah.
character,
Yeah.
you know?
Kind of a non-force using Yoda.
Yeah.
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 All right. And the most important character of the movie.
Uh-oh. I like BB-8. I'm sorry.
BB-8.
I'm wearing the t-shirt, dude. Look, I'm wearing the t-shirt. I like BB-8. I thought BB-8 was fun. I think he was a dash of Chopper and a dash of R2. I think he was a great bridge between the two of them for the new trilogy. I
Yeah.
like BB-8. I have the life size. I have a life size version of him that
You
rolls
remember the
around the
one that was a
floor.
Rebel ScumCon rolling around?
Oh yeah, that one was
Yeah.
cool. And the science, and the technology off camera, outside of the camera, the fact that they were actually able to create one that moved around for a practical effect, and they had one on stage when they did the celebrations and stuff like that. They had BB-8 there. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say.
Commenting because Matthew said that Maz had a crush on Chewie.
She did.
Um,
She had a crazy crush on Chewie. I like BB-8. I think BB-8 was great. I thought he was. I loved him as a droid. And like I said, with the technology that was involved with him, literally had this cap on a ball that stayed in one spot, and he had all this different gear and the thumbs up with the fire thing with Finn and that kind of stuff. I liked him. I thought he was just a fun little. I thought he was a fun, like they said, he was kind of a fun Buster Keaton of the movies, and I think he lived up to that. I think it was great. I liked BB-8.
um, so there were some other characters that we're just gonna lightly touch on. There was General Hugs, and then you had Snoke, which we only got to see a little bit of. Captain Phasma, that we only got to see a little bit of, but there was a lot of
Miss Gwendolyn Christie.
What's that? Yeah,
Miss Gwendolyn Christie.
yeah. There were some other new characters that they threw in there. The lighter gag was the middle finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was a thumbs up. He was giving the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you all right, Andor?
Uh-oh.
That's gross.
Hairball.
Yeah, hairball. So in addition,
What other live shows can you get this kind of content?
Yeah. So that in addition to all the new characters we got to see some a lot of new planets.
Mm-hmm.
Got some new planets. In fact, I don't think, if memory serves me, we did not go back to any planets that we had already been to in Force Awakens. I think they were all new.
Well, because Starkiller Base was another. I know Starkiller Base was another planet before then, and it's escaping me what the name of it was. I forgot to grab my book, but I know that it was featured in Rebels. But was it featured before Force Awakens came out?
I don't think it was. Not live action. I don't think. Andor, that's gross, man. But yeah, so Jakku, which is very reminiscent of Tatooine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, Matthew. I think something's going on with StreamYard tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I did like seeing. I think one of my favorite parts though is on Jakku when they actually are able to acquire the Falcon.
Don't jump ahead.
Okay.
We're going to talk about favorite moments.
Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, so Jakku, and then what's another Takadana? I think is how you pronounce it.
Takadana.
Another planet we've never seen before. Another one that we only got to see for about 15 seconds was Hosnian Prime, which you get to learn more about that place, like if you read the books and comics.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's you don't get to see too much of this one either, but I think it's pronounced Dakar, which is where the resistance base is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the planet, I don't remember the name of the planet either. What planet is Star Killer Base? I can't remember the name. Ilum.
Yeah,
It's Ilum.
Ilum, yes, Ilum. Yeah, it was featured in Rebels, and it was featured in another show before the Star Killer part of it actually showed up. So I mean, it's been featured in
Might have been Clone Wars.
I think it was Clone Wars. I thought it was Rebels too.
What TV shows has the planet Ilum been in? Clone Wars, and it doesn't mention Rebels, but it mentions Forces of Destiny.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I seem to remember it being in Rebels too, but maybe not. So there's and then the last planet that we see that we've never seen before, but we only see it very briefly, is Octu.
Yes.
So that was
where we see Luke with no speaking parts.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to talk about some of our favorite moments, but before we talk favorite moments, I have one question to pose to you. And what are you talking about, Matthew? What thingy am I playing with? I was cleaning my cat's hairball vomit.
Which I think we would have been better with playing with your thingy.
Playing with a thingy, yeah. Are you all right, buddy? He wants to get out of here. I'll pose that question in a second, but I have a very important question for you.
He has important thingies to discuss.
Very important question.
Very
so
important
listen to the
things.
chat too, and anybody watching this on the replay, I would like to know your thoughts as well. So just comment on YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this has a lot to do with J.J. Abrams as a director and the directing, just the way he did the movie overall. The question is, to you, did it feel like a Star Wars film?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
100%.
I only say that because there's people out there that actually say because of the way J.J. Abrams did it, it did not feel like Star Wars. And I have tried to wrap my head around that. I'm like, how does it not?
It feels like J.J. Abrams did a Star Wars movie, but it's still a Star Wars. It still felt like a Star Wars movie.
I mean,
My only thing that I would say is the biggest is it I and this happens. This is a comment for the whole sequel. I wish they'd have picked one director and they would have done all of them in
oh
succession.
yeah, you don't have to. No,
Yeah,
we
no.
don't. You don't have to.
If I wish it would have been, I wish they would have either given it to Ryan Johnson and said, "Here,
Well,
you're going to get the whole trilogy,"
it didn't
or
have to be Ryan Johnson. They could have picked somebody else.
they could have just told J.J. Abrams, "You're going to do all three of them. We're giving
Yeah.
you all three of them. You're going to do all three of them."
Yeah.
And it would have been. I think things would have been a lot better if they'd have done that. Now, that's not to throw shade on The Last Jedi, because The Last Jedi was an awesome film. As far as like, does it feel like Star Wars? If any of them doesn't feel like Star Wars, I would say The Last Jedi is probably the farthest removed from what would be considered a Star Wars movie. But it was still a Star Wars movie. It was just done in such a different way, in such a different style, that it lends the credence to The Force Awakens 100%. I think 100%. The Force Awakens feels like a Star Wars movie. I don't think. I don't think there's any question. In my mind, there's no question that yes, it felt like 100% like a Star Wars movie.
I agree.
Yeah.
So Matthew says yes. I'm assuming he's answering this question. Joy says yes. Springy Bear says you guys are still going. Yeah, we're coming up on the end. We're coming up on the end.
We're almost done.
Matthew agrees. One director should have done all of them.
Yeah.
See, that's an interesting thought, Matthew. I hadn't thought about that. Rise of Skywalker should have been 2 movies.
I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that because there was and I think that it would have depended on whether J.J. Abrams did all three. Now, if he'd have done all three, I don't think it would have been necessary to break up the last one into 2 movies. But I think since Ryan Johnson did the second one, and there was so much more information that came out and so much course correction they felt like needed to be done in the last movie, then yes, it would have made more sense if they just split it up into 2 movies, and then they could have put more
But then it wouldn't have been a trilogy.
That it would have been more Star Wars, and I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah,
but it would have.
No, you don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to argue with that.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So let's. I think it's pretty clear that it did feel like a Star Wars movie. I would agree with that as well, Matthew, and we'll probably talk about that when we do a Rise of Skywalker retrospective. It did feel hurried. I agree. It probably should have been 2 movies. But moving on, favorite moments from The Force Awakens. I think you and I both have the same as one of our favorite moments, and that is the reintroduction of the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the scene on Jakku. Oh, that's just garbage. Oh, the garbage will have to do.
Garbage will have to do, yeah. And then she tries to fly it by herself, and they have that chase scene through all the wreckage and everything.
Yeah,
I loved that scene, and it had nothing to do with Jedi. It had nothing to do with Sith. It had nothing. It just was a good old fashioned, fighter pilot thing through a bunch of garbage, and them trying to figure out how to get away from the First Order and stuff like that. And I that was probably one of my most favorite parts of the of the Force Awakens, if not the entire trilogy. I think of the entire trilogy, that's probably one of my favorite moments.
I, I think another one of my favorite moments, and it ties into an overall like the dynamic between Finn and Han. I love their dynamic, but specifically when they're on Ilum and he's like, "What was your job while you were here?" I was in sanitation. You were a garbage man. So he's just, and the whole, that's not how the Force works.
Well, that's not how the Force works. I still like it. I still like it when they're on the Falcon and they're on at Maz Kanata's castle, and before they walk in, he's talking about. Let me tell you something, kid. Women can always tell when you're lying, and he's like,
Yeah,
he hits him with the thing. He goes, always, because
always.
he
Yeah,
knew he was full of it. He knew he was full of junk. You know, he knew he was full of mess, and he's like, they can always tell, always. Yeah, their banter
yeah,
back and forth
Matthew.
is fun.
That last one that you mentioned, yeah, that was a favorite moment too. He was mentioning when Han and Leia reunite.
Uh-huh.
That was emotional.
Hmm.
That was cool.
Hmm.
Um, I gotta say, I really liked the whole like opening scene on Jakku
Hmm.
with Lor Santeca and the introduction of Kylo and just this whole like his banter with him and Poe. Like that whole opening sequence, I think is a
Hmm.
favorite. Like that one actually might be my favorite moment in the movie.
Fair enough.
I just like that whole sequence because it kind of it set everything off. Your favorite scene was Ungar Platt.
Ungar
What?
plot.
Okay. I
Ungar
mean,
plot. I don't think you spelled it right, but that's okay.
no,
I would probably
I
I
know
would
who he's
probably
talking
have
about.
I I would honestly probably have a problem trying to get all that turned out too.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine, I guess.
Yeah, the
Whoa,
lightsaber
yeah,
fight, Joey, the lightsaber fight in the snow. Yeah, that one was pretty
yeah,
good too.
that was good. That was good. Here we go. Here we go. Dang.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
oh
putting it
god,
up here, man. Smirky
oh
Nerd
boy.
says he liked when Kylo killed Han, when the light died out and was in darkness and red light. You're probably right. Matt will probably hate you for pointing this out.
You have to. There's something you have to admit about that point too, though. That's very cool. Is it as soon as that star went dormant is the moment that he kind of reverted back to wanting to be evil because he almost gave up the lightsaber,
Yeah,
and then as soon as that star died out and things went red and it went dark again, so did he. It was very metaphorical.
yeah.
It was a cool. It was cool the way they played it out. Yes,
It was a good scene. It was very
unfortunately,
emotional.
we lost a very near and dear character. We did,
Well, yeah.
but
I mean, this is a
I
character
think
we've been around with us since the '70s. For Christ's
yeah,
sake. So,
but but I think and being a dad, that kind of thing. I think it's very telling about what dads will go through to save their sons, and I think it might not have made sense to him at the time, and it might not have made sense to Kylo Ren at the time, but that scene was still pivotal in
oh,
the
absolutely,
resurrection and subsequent turn back to the light side of Ben Solo because it was
absolutely.
so
Yeah,
impactful to him.
yeah. It was. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was big.
yeah.
Big scene, big scene. So, do you have any other favorite moments?
Overall, I enjoyed, like I said, overall, I enjoyed the movies. Or I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I thought it was a great introduction to get back into it. I think Disney did a good job when they reintroduced everything. I think the controversy and the hate and a lot of that stuff came from just came from various types of reactions that people had to it, and some people got what they wanted, some people didn't. Some people didn't get anything they wanted, and I think they were a lot more pissy and upset about it. And they didn't really. The sequels at this point, I think, are kind of like the prequels for the OT fans. It's
Yeah.
not gotten the credit it deserves, but I think over time, I think it will. I think they will, and I really hope that they invest time in expanding on those stories and making them make more sense and doing things that would enlighten the story the same way they did with Clone Wars, with Rebels, with the comics, with the books. I think they really should. And I'm hoping that right now they're just kind of giving it time to kind of settle down. And then they're going to start working back into that with some really good medium. And I would not be upset at all if that's exactly what they're doing and that's what they plan to do.
Yeah.
I think it will work out fine. I think it will help. And again, if it expands the story, if it makes the story better, and we get more feedback on some of the questions that didn't get answered, I think it'll make it better, and it just expands the Star Wars universe that much further. And so, yeah,
And we have the books that apparently tell stories that we didn't know happened.
yeah, and and Bear, I agree with you. Ray is not a Mary Sue. I'll argue that all day long. I'll argue that with anybody that Ray is not a Mary Sue. I completely agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good movie. So
Yeah.
we both liked the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, it's not my favorite of the sequel, but it's also not my least favorite.
Right.
And it was a really cool experience to see new Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
For the first time.
All the new technology, all the new graphics, all the new CGI that came out, everything that put it into perspective. I always often wondered what would happen if they ever did do not change the story, not change anything about it, maybe even use like AI or CGI to put the exact same characters and the exact same actors right back into it again. But what would happen if they redid that entire movie, the entire original trilogy, using today's graphics and using today's CGI?
Mm-hmm.
I just wonder what it would be like to experience it like that. But then again, I'm also the old school kind of person that I would go to the theaters if they produced a 1977 uncut, unedited version of the original movie.
Yeah.
Just for nostalgia purposes.
Yeah.
So, but to see this movie like that with all that, I think this is a fair I think this is fair compensation for that, if you will.
Yeah. So, next week we have a lot of ideas floating around in our head for new episodes.
Oh yeah.
I'm not feeling quite ready for the Starships episodes yet, but why don't we do this one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So next week,
sounds good.
We are going to dive into the Gray Jedi. Who they are.
Mm-hmm.
What's that all about?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Keeping in mind that a lot of it's non-canon and not official.
That is fair.
But
this show is also not completely canon. We do talk about other stuff.
We do talk about EU. We talk about non-canon. We talk about canon. We talk about
it all. So thanks everybody for hanging out in the chat with us. Talking about the Force Awakens.
Bear has a good suggestion for.
I don't have enough of a collection to do that. That would have to be all JD.
Top 10 collectibles in your collection.
Yeah,
God, it'd be tough. But you have a collection, so I mean, what you do have, you could pick the top 10.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We could introduce the bionic thingy topic. Good God,
not happening.
We are actually about to do a Darth Maul episode, so
with a special guest.
Maybe that'll be the week after. I don't know. But yeah, Great Jedi. But thanks for coming in, hanging out with us today. Everybody watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. If you're watching on the replay, thanks for watching. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, thank you for watching there as well. And you can watch that on the replay as well. Thank you for everybody listening to the audio. You really should watch the video because you don't get the full effect. And make sure that you join the Discord because that's a lot of fun. And as Joy just said, may the Force be with you.